Today we will learn about congruence of triangles, and we start with congruence of line segments. Two line segments are congruent if they have same or equal length. So in this case it is given that the length is same. So what conclusion we get out of it? That the line segments are congruent. So, and if two line segments are given to be congruent, so we can say they will have same length. So let's draw and understand again. I have written two line segments are congruent if. That means if is the condition given to me. So if these line segments, if I draw AB and CD, if I draw them to be 8 centimeter and 8 centimeter, I can pick up this AB and put it on CD. So when I check, the length is 8 centimeter and 8 centimeter, it will fully cover CD. So this case the length was given to you, and what do we understand when the length is given? That these line segments will be congruent. Now if it is given to you, they are congruent. So if they draw two line segments and say that they are given to be congruent, so what conclusion you can have? You can say they will be having same length. They will be having same length. So we have understood both ways. If length is given, they will be congruent. If it is given they are congruent, length will be equal. So after this, let's talk about now angles. So if measure of two angles is same or equal, they are congruent. Now in this case, what is given to me? It is given that measure is same. So if it is given, this is 60 degree and this is 60 degree. So if it is given the measure is equal, they will be congruent. And let's write the other way now. If angles are congruent, their measure is equal. So if they draw and give, you can check the measure using protractor. You can say this will be 40 degree because they have given the angles are congruent. Now after learning about line segment and angles, let's learn about triangles now. So we can say, now we are talking about congruence. If two figures have same size and shape, they are congruent. They are congruent. And I can draw a triangle this way. Let me take this as 2, this as 3, this as 4. And I can draw now 2 centimeter here and 4 centimeter here and 3 centimeter here. Now I can lift it up and I can place it in such a way that I'll get 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter here and 4 centimeter on this side. So they have same size, the measurements are same, and they have same shape. I have drawn the triangles. So if the size and shape are same, two figures are called congruent figures. Now let's talk about the correspondence in, if I draw two triangles A, B, C, P, Q, R, and they have given us the correspondence. A, B, C corresponds to P, Q, R. So if it is given A, B, C is congruent to P, Q, R, and this is the correspondence, what is the symbol used for congruent? You put this equal to sign, and this way you can say these triangles are congruent. So when you prove the congruency, this is the symbol used for congruency. And if its correspondence is given PQR, what do you mean by this correspondence? This says A corresponds to P. So let's talk about the vertices, sides for these two triangles. So if this is the correspondence, we will have corresponding vertices. So A corresponds to, from here we can see A corresponds to P. So we can write A corresponds to P. B corresponds to Q. So we can write B corresponds to Q. C corresponds to R. Now let's talk about the sides. So now we talk about corresponding sides. You can see from here also, from figure also you can see, and from correspondence given also you can see. We follow, if it is given, this is the correspondence, we follow from here. So AB, now I am talking about corresponding sides. AB corresponds to PQ. BC corresponds to QR. BC corresponds to QR. And AC corresponds to PR. If this correspondence is not given to you and measurements are given to you, then measurements will tell you what part corresponds to what part. And then we talk about the angles. We can also write about angles when the congruency is talked about. So we can say angle A will be equal to angle P. See, angle A will be angle P. Angle B will be equal to angle Q. Angle C will be angle R. So if we talk about looking at the correspondence, we will get these corresponding parts in a triangle. Next video, we will learn about the criteria for congruency of triangles.